One of the biggest fears of self-employed estate agency is failure, and 3 out of 10 people that join self-employed estate agency models are not there 12 months later. Today, I'm joined by Clement, who's the boss man of IAD, the new French self-employed estate agency model that's taken the UK by storm. And I'm here to talk to you, Clement, is whose responsibility is it to get valuation and listing leads for self-employed estate agents? Talk to me.
The view we have on this is very simple. First, in order to align interest, there's a Chinese wall between the network, so the agents, and the HQ, which means I don't personally have any interest to generate some listings for my team rather than other team. So we have a totally neutral position. I know it's not the case in all the networks, but we feel, I fall asleep better every night with this because the agents know I don't have any personal interest that orthogonal to theirs. Okay. After that, it's true to say that we have to provide the tools, we have to provide the training in order to properly use the tools. But at the end of the day, this is a shared duty between the agents to apply the methods that we're teaching, to use the tools, to go and generate buyers and sellers leads. We can kickstart some relationships via digital, for example. We can help develop these leads and transactions by fostering a sharing culture. Almost 18% of our transactions worldwide are shared between different agents that help someone else generate some business elsewhere in the country. But of course, the warm list of the agents, his or her ability to go and generate new clients will be key. So we can try to infuse the culture, we can try to build the energy up, but at the end of the day, our agents are entrepreneurs and they wake up in the morning to develop that business also.
Do you think UK self-employed estate agents should be more entrepreneurial in their outlook to get more business?
What we see is that
Let me help you with this one. The answer is yes, they should be.
I'm trying to be polite. We've only been in the UK for a couple of months.
Don't you worry. I'll say yeah. Yeah. Come on, get your bloody finger out. Let's come back to you. You can be a bit more reserved. Go on.
I'll come back on that one to the to this commission split issue. When your personal interest is maybe to get 10% of the commission, then you transfer the mails you got from the portals to your client, and that's it. When you get 80% of 90% of the commission, I mean, as an entrepreneur, then with no fixed salary, because that's the estate agent's model. It's not for everyone. I'm not saying it's better. It's just a different kind of adventure.
But we've had that in the UK for the last 3, 4, 5 years with Keller and EXP. I'm not hearing anything different apart from a slightly different percentage and probably a bit of Facebook advertising. Is there anything else that that IAD do to help estate agents get more listings?
Yes, in a lot of ways. Once again, via the tools, which means that when we launch a country, I think we launch less countries than other international networks, but when we do it, we devote enough digital lead budgets and also local branding initiatives day one to help the agents
but that can't go on, that can't go on forever, can it? That's almost like an intro.
No, and this comes back to your question of shared responsibility between HQ and agents. I mean, we're not a company that's going to generate 100% of the business. That would be a lie.
There's a certain self-employed estate agency model whose name I shall not mention, whose 95% of the free valuations come from the brokerage, the franchisor. And even though it's more financially better for the franchisees of this particular model to go and get their business, hardly any of them do. Doesn't that prove that it should be the sole responsibility of the franchisee or the self-employed agent to get the business?
I wouldn't say the sole, but the vast majority of the responsibility. The way we see leads, sellers leads, for example, in our case, is target them to beginners, okay? And because if we want to have them properly trained, on the field training is also key. And when you've been in the business for only a couple of weeks or months, it's very hard to get your first seller mandate. And this is where HQ can play a role, but just to kickstart the adventure. And when you've made 3-4 visits, the photographs, you know how to discuss valuation with a client. This is not something we can teach online. This is something we have to teach on the field. And maybe I think a third pillar of the IAD concept is key in this, is the mentoring system. Because what we do, it's not IAD HQ, but since your mentor will share a tiny bit of the commission with you, he has some interest, passion, energy to bring you on the field for her or his visits at the beginning, teach you things, which is why this amazing solidarity culture developed, because everyone's interests are aligned. And so the mentoring system is also, I think, a powerful answer to what IAD does differently from other networks to help me get mandates. Your mentor will help you, the mentor of your mentor will help you. So it's not the whole 20,000 agents, but everyone is running in the same direction.
I'd like to do the mentoring bit in a separate video, but just come back to this training thing, because you keep mentioning training, is there is a self-employed estate agency model in the UK who consider themselves, they're firstly trainers who just happen to be estate agents, but you hear all the time that when estate agents join them, they don't want to be trained because they think they know it all. Do you think, what are you going to do to ensure that existing agents actually take on your training and not ignore it like the other model?
We're implementing in the system, or in the way you can develop yourself within IAD, with some compulsory steps in taking some training. If you want to become a bigger and bigger manager, you have to take the managing class first before being authorized to become a manager. On the sales technique side, it's harder, okay? And it's true to say that in every country, it's not like UK related, the professionals that enter IAD, their first reaction will be, I know how to work. You don't need to train me, to teach me, but the depth and the breadth of our online university.
And you're going to be strong with that. You're going to hold your line. That if they want to take on people, underneath them, they're going to have to pass the training and do it.
That's compulsory. Yeah, but it's short. It's reasonable. It doesn't break your week. You don't have to take weeks of classes. But if you're not taught a bit the way or the best practices to manage a team, and it's a few hours, but they need to take it before doing this, and we're adamant in have it happen. And every year, it's hard, but it's like this. The managers that don't comply with it are temporarily blocked. It just depends on their will and discipline to take the training we think are right to be a good manager.
Thank you for your time today.